Welcome back, Jebel Ali. In this tutorial we are going to position our car on the track and point it in a certain direction, ready to start the race. Now you may have your car in different locations on your track, but you need to decide where you are going to start your race. So if you want to start your race here, you want your car to point in north direction, or if you want it to start here, you want it to point in the east direction, or 90 degrees, or here you want it to point south, or here if you're starting you maybe want it to point west. So you need to make sure, very importantly, that you are clicked on your car. So you must have clicked in the sprite area on your sprite that you created in the last tutorial. Okay, so make sure you check that, check and check again. Then next thing, we're going to start coding our sprite. So we need to be clicked on the code is just here. You've been using the costume tab, but now we are going to start coding our sprite. So make sure you are on your sprite, on the coding tab, and then you're ready to begin coding. Now here is the code area. This section here is the block palette. Okay, and we drag these blocks onto the code area there. If we want to remove them, we drag and drop them back. Okay, now an important block in Scratch is the event block. The event block basically starts our code. Okay, so first thing we need to do is make sure we click on the event block, and to begin our code we are going to use the green flag block, which is just here. Now you can zoom in on your code by clicking here, so it makes it a little bit bigger, and now the green flag matches the green flag here. So basically when you click the green flag, whatever's connected to this block will happen. Now what we want to do, we want to make sure our car starts in the right place each time. So imagine I want my car to start here. I first drag my car into the position I want to start, and then I want it to point north, because I don't want it to point in this direction. And also I want to make sure my costume is the costume which doesn't have the explosion. So the first thing you need to do is go to motion, and because I want to point my car north, I'm going to go to point in direction, which is here, and then click on the number here. And as you can see, if you want your car to point south, you turn here. If you want it to point west, you turn here. If you want it to point northwards, which is that way, you turn it here, and then you join it by clicking it onto the green flag. Okay, you'll see this working now. If I press the green flag, my car is pointing that way. If I wanted my car to point that way, so imagine I'm starting here, I turn my arrow to point right, and when I click my green flag, my car points to the right, or 90 degrees. So that is what you do to get started. Next, we need to make sure we have the correct costume. At the moment, my car's exploded because I've clicked on the wrong costume. I need to be on this costume. But you need to make sure your car starts as a whole car, not an exploded car. So again, I click on my code. This time I'm going to go to looks, and I'm going to choose switch to costume. Now the reason why I named my costumes, because I want to make sure it is set to car. Can you see I've got two choices, car and car crash. But I want to set it to car to match my costume here. And then I join that to my green flag and my pointing direction. And now when I press my green flag, I know that it's going to be set to the correct one. Even if I change it here, when I run my code, it will go back to my car costume. Okay, so that puts my direction. That changes my costume to the correct one. And now I want to make sure my car starts in the right place. So if you look on your motion and look at this block here, the go to block, can you see these are coordinates? You've got the X and the y coordinates, and the x and y coordinates are on this. You don't see them, they're invisible, but let me just tell you, x and y 0 is in the middle of the screen. Okay, so as I move my car, can you see these coordinates here are changing? So it's minus 63 x and 35 y. Now keep watching here. Now when I move my car here, you'll see that my coordinates have changed again. Now they are now x, which goes this way, and y, which goes this way. Now what I want to do, I want my car to start in the middle here. So I'm going to drag just here, and you'll see my coordinates have changed again. And now I'm going to drag my go-to block underneath my green flag. So now it points in the right direction, changes to the correct costume, and goes to the right location. As you'll see now, if I move my car over here and I click on the green flag, the car will always go back to these coordinates. So there's my car. So it's very simple. No matter where the car finishes in the race, when I start the race again, it will go back to the correct position. So in this tutorial, we've learned how to point our sprite in a certain direction, change the costume to the correct costume, and enable our sprite to go to the correct position on the stage. And in the next tutorial, we will get our car to start moving, and we'll be able to control and turn the car. Okay, and I look forward to seeing you in the next tutorial.